now. And now that I have your attention, it's time for us to get serious. Say hello and chat to your friends. Fires up the stream, hear the good vibes come. Let's distract you from that terrible day. Your wife doesn't suck, your husband is a nag. But here you matter, and there's very little lag. Reduce this stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Patch notes hit, he's already read it. Scopely's wild, he's not gonna edit. Game's a mess, he still stands tall with spreadsheet sass and irreverent call. Do you miss having someone to talk to when you're bored? To talk to when you ain't got nothing to do? Do you miss having someone to talk to when it's late at night? Well, have I got a stream for you? Reduce this stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Ain't nothing wrong with a little pond fart. Chat can't be trusted, it's a juvenile seminar. But that's okay because we all need a little fun. Life's too short and you're too cute, my gingerbread.
I am muted, so good news. I just gave away next month's arc. Damn, should have been unmuted. Well, poopy. Oh well, hey, what happens? Who knows? Professional? Not this guy. Not this guy. If y'all can read lips, well, good luck. Good luck if you can read lips. Welcome in. Willkommen. Willkommen, all my friends. How are you? Yeah, we can hear now. Well played. Get to reading lips. Chrono, good to see you. Today, we're going to talk about Mak'ala's Crucible. We're going to talk about being 6 days away from the new arc that starts, obviously, next Tuesday. And then we also, exciting, maybe, a little bit, the Paquito amount, uno momento por favor. Maybe. Little one-on-ones where we talk about Chrono's account and how terrible it is. No, we'll talk about other people's accounts and how terrible they are. We'll do some player account reviews, help you get an idea of what you should be focusing on. And Charles, G7 is coming, but nobody said it's coming in September. I didn't say. I did not say that. Nor do I want that if we're being completely transparent, honest, and forthcoming. Do not want that at all. But we'll see how it goes. There is a new hostile runs coming this month, so get excited if you love new hostiles. Ooh, boy, you about to have a good old time. New hostiles are dropping. Good times. Everybody's excited. You know, the whole world's been like, Rev, when are new hostiles coming? And the good news is next month or this month. If actually a week, or less than a week. So very soon. Very soon. New loop coming. Valley Bomb, good to see you. Welcome on. Makito. Pastor. I'm just going to call you Pastor, my friend, because I'm going to be honest. I don't want to disrespect your last name and then have you talk to Jesus about me. So we're going to just call you Pastor. Lamar John Rue, good to see you. Yes, Rue, there are currencies. There are definitely currencies coming. Welcome in. Hopefully y'all are all doing well. I hope you're having a blessed week so far. We are about halfway through, so heck yeah. Heck yeah, we're about halfway through the week. It's my nickname, don't worry. It means cemetery priest. Oh, cool. Well, that's a thing. No, when I was a pastor, I was just a regular guy. I wasn't a cemetery guy. But new stuff coming, Jonathan. Yeah, reason to be excited. Now, until that happens, we do still have our Mak'ala's Crucible going on right now, which I've been encouraging people to take advantage of, work on, and do. And I'm curious to see how many people have progressed through it so far. It's all up to you, by the way. As I love to scream, ignore FOMO, have fun. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. You don't need to do everything in the game. Doesn't matter how fast you play, how slow you play. There is no wrong way to play. The only way to play that is incorrect is if you're not having fun. So just like Scott said, hit that like button and feel free to start dropping in your questions. Eddie says he's already at 910 points. Wow, Eddie, that's really impressive. I think I'm at a couple hundred on this account. So John says they've almost finished it out. And this is why I love talking to our stream, because y'all are what I like to call Deuce's Donuts. Y'all do way too much for a little mobile game. But you know what? I respect it. That's why some of you are so good, right? That's why some of you are so good. It says, let me guess, new argue, new pay for ship, new stuff to mine to get new resources, to upgrade new ship. It's good for one thing. Maybe, but not necessarily a new ship in September. Not a new ship in September. Tim! Yo, thank you, Tim. Tim is gifting 5 memberships to the YouTube channel here. Thank you. For those of you who watch on the replay, big thank you to Tim for supporting us financially, because without people like Tim, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, which is help y'all and well, have fun, right? Whether we're playing War Thunder or if we're doing STFC. I do have to message one of the community managers today in STFC about a couple different issues. For a reminder, just for those who do watch on playback, if you have specific issues that you need help with, you can message myself or another content creator or the official moderators, etc., so that we can try to help you expedite your problem. We'll point something out real quick. I've had a lot of people do this over the past couple months. If you create a ticket and it's been like 2 hours, 4 hours, even 24 hours, I'm not going to be able to pass up your ticket. It has to go through a time span. And I understand that could be frustrating. But I do want to remind y'all that even though I do absolutely want to help and will help, there are limitations to when I can get certain things done. Just the FYI. Welcome in, everybody. No longer donut, lean and clean. Well, very nice, Hellcats. I think that I'm still plenty of donutty. I'm 210 pounds as of this morning, for those keeping up with my health. So I have gained a couple, but we're doing all fine. Can you bug them about daily still not working on 718? Shoot me a message. I believe that's already a known thing that they're looking into, but I can always pester them again about it. But shoot me a message on it, please, especially if you have a ticket number that's been sitting a while. That helps a lot. Anytime that a player has a ticket number that's been sitting, say, 7 days, it's a lot easier to get that looked into. So if you're out there and you do have one of those tickets, those type of tickets, please let me know. So if I can flex my account today, maybe, Eddie, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Right now, I am going to start working on my grinds. I got a couple grinds I got to do for the Mak'ala's Crucible. I'm going to go ahead and use this opportunity to get some more NSCA currency. And I really need to upgrade the NSCA. I was going to wait, or I was going to do this past weekend, and I just forgot to upgrade all my specialty ships. And I've been thinking about just go ahead and doing it. Just saying, heck it, do it, upgrade my stuff. I just haven't done it yet. Thanks for the advice about reinstalling the game. Cleared up my phone, and game is more stable. Happy to hear it, James. We did have a couple of issues with some people on their Android devices. It didn't go perfectly with their, reinstall, but overall seems to help well over 90% of folks and resulted in a better experience. So, yeah, hopefully that's the case for most people. You're at 930 points at the moment. My alliance is a blast on polygons. Very nice. I need to do those, and I also, so come over here to Armadas. See, I need to do the Crenum formations. I did one last night. I have not done any polygons yet, and I still got to do group ones. Thankfully, those are kind of the easier ones in my alliance. I just need to bug them about it, but I still need to go and do it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start queuing these up. We're going to start slicing these around and start working on some of these tasks. I've also still got to do my solo Armada task. Not sure where everybody's at with that, but I've got to do that as well. You upgraded your Cerritos during last Wednesday, and the new event that dropped bugged for me. Good news, Eddie. That's awesome. You talking about the Cerritos Wednesday event bugged? What do you mean by bugged? What's it doing? You have the Prime Start Pack, so I carried half of the polygons from my alliance, and we were doing Crenum now. Very nice, Tim. Very, very nice indeed. Why is your game not in English format? Because it's in German. Yeah, it's in German. You can change your language if you're curious, if you've never done that before. I obviously speak English fluently. I know, shocker. But you can also do it to German or Deutsch. You can do it Espanol. You can do it into Russian, Portuguese, Chinese, Korean, French, Italiano, and English. The two languages that I can recognize a lot of is going to be French and German, though I obviously am not fluent in either one of them. But it is just something nice to do. Is actually watching Ultra Vetica stream earlier, one of our Twitch streamers for APAC. the Asia Pacific region and saw him doing Korea. And I was like, you know what? It'd be a great way for me to practice some of the German that I don't do very often. And here we are. So, for example, you might not know, but that right there is the German word for home. But now you've learned, so now you know. You want Klingon? That would also be nice. That would also be nice. So Max Cerritos dropped 0 rewards. I got a ticket, and we'll see if it's the same today. Let me know, Eddie. Keep me updated so I can see if I can help out with that. But yeah, do let me know. All right, do let me know. Server 702 has graphic errors. If you are having graphic errors, that is usually specific to you, not a server. That is usually specific to you and not a server. And we might need to do a clear cache. We might need to do an uninstall, reinstall. Usually something like memory leaks that will cause graphic errors, like the pink boxes, stuff like that, are usually tied directly to a player account, not a server. But, all right. Let's grab more questions. And if y'all have got them, drop them. We're also going to be doing, using STFC statistics, we're going to do a couple of player account reviews. We did G5 last week. So depending on who we have here, either G6 or G4 is probably what we're going to end up doing today. Just depends on, well, who bugs us the most, to be honest with you. If we got more G4 players here that feel like they need help, we'll do that. If we have more G6 players, then we'll do that. So either way, we'll try to help whoever we can. And we've been trying to do this on Wednesdays. Obviously, it was a segment that kind of got, pushed back with the sickness, but we'll try to have that here as a pretty common thing going into the future. Changing language made me remember the Section 31 April Fool's video you made. That's taking it way back. But yeah, that was fun. That was one of my better videos, I believe. And I also really liked where I dropped the CLA hint that was coming out. I've got a hint coming for this month's content that I'm going to drop here in a couple days. We'll see if y'all enjoy that one. So you'll volunteer for G6. You're right in the middle at 64. Ooh, gross. 64 is a level I'm not a huge fan of. If you've made it past 63 and you are strong at 63, my goal is to get you to 66. Very similar to running 42 to 46 or 53 to 56 in G4 and G5. But give me a second. We'll make sure we get all the generic questions out, and then we'll go with that. Valley Bomb says, God knows with as much as us G6s have spent, we definitely need help. No lies told there, Bally Bomb. For those who don't know, Bally Bomb, a good friend of mine, supporter of the channel. Also a level 70 who is basically done. They've got very little research left. They've got very little reason to play. And they're still here somehow in some reason. But good to see you, Bally Bomb. I hope you're doing well, my friend. 64 is a better spot to stop than 63 because of research. I slightly disagree with that, though I know where you're coming from, Jonathan. Simply because, kind of going to what they're saying is the increased cost. But you are right that even levels tend to, and this goes throughout the course of the game, even levels tend to be a jump up in what researches are available. This is not just a G6 thing. This is a game design thing. Generally, you're going to have even levels are going to be research jumps, and then a lot of your odd levels can tend to be ships. Now, it just depends on what that is. Or even levels tend to be ships. Odd levels in 53, 63. Point being, it just depends on where you're at. There's not wrong answers. We do have our master ops chart. We'll pull up the ops progression chart here real quick, and then you can see kind of just the different opinions of various content creators of like when to move when it comes to the mid 60s. And I don't think there's wrong answers. But here, let's go ahead and show this on the screen just to give you a wide variety of opinions. Because again, I think more than just Rev's opinion is important. 1 second, display capture. Boom. So here we're looking at G6 right there at the top. I'll scroll this a little, whoop, wrong way. I'll scroll this a little bit more so it's easier to see. So now we're looking at all G6, and you'll see when it comes to 64, Jules said to play it slow, but you still wanted to progress a little bit. I've got it as a push pass. K92, one of our level 70s, has it as a push pass. Lube has it as a push right pass. Most people have it as a push pass, but it does depend. There's not a wrong answer. All right, so it's finding what works for you and building around that paradigm. And just to stress, what they said about setting 64 is not bad. It's just what works for you and what do you find is more advantageous for me, especially with the new mastery artifacts, which, spoiler alert, if we do some G6 player reviews, I'm going to be bugging the mess out of y'all to get your mastery artifacts updated, because that's going to help you a lot with your upgrade costs when it comes to Sigma materials. Not to mention, You also need to have all those artifacts upgraded to save you the par steel, the titanium, and the lithium, obviously the Sigma stuff. So just little FYI, once we get to that segment here in a bit, I'm going to be bugging all of y'all to be doing the mastery artifacts if you're not already. Even to the point, if you've not spent your flashpoint currency, I'm going to probably tell you to bug it and jump it all into masteries if you haven't already. So are your stitchers dissolved? They are not. It's annoying the fire out of me that they're not completely dissolved, but I am eating solid food again, so thank you for that. You push up the artifact for speed ups a lot. Just got to 6-3 last week. Congrats, Lamar. That's definitely a big one. We've been sharing that spreadsheet out a lot. For those who haven't seen it, you know, I guess this is as good a time as anybody. What about G3 players? Are you going to do those? I mean, we can, to be honest. G3 is becoming a dwindling area, as in there's less and less people there. But we're definitely more than welcome to talk about it. It's just more of, are they chiming in? I'm not saying that G3 players don't follow, but for whatever reason, they tend to be very quiet. And they don't come in and say, hey, look at my account. All right, real quick, even though G3 doesn't apply to this, we're talking about the mastery artifacts. G6 players, you definitely want to be looking at Mbanga's storybook for your speed ups. Take a look here. Once you max it out, that every day is going to give you 51 hours and 15 minutes of Sigma speed ups every single day. So again, maxing this out can be very, very lucrative and valuable. Tier 12. Then you come down into Pike's Sextant. The other one, if you're a G6 player, that I tend to tell you to focus on. These two are the main ones, but you want all four of them. This one is going to give you that Sigma Trit, Sigma Par, and Sigma Dill, maxing out at 268,000 Sigma Par still a day, 46,000 Sigma Trit a day, and 24,900 Sigma Dilithium a day. Obviously, if you are a G6 player, especially if you were like Bally Bomb, where you were an early adopter, those numbers are insane. Imagine going into early G6 and having half those numbers every day immediately. That is big. Now, it's not amazing, as in like it's not making the G6 economy so easy, but it is significantly improving an economy that when Bally Bomb or Nemesis or Bomb Diggity or whoever was an early adopter went through their first did not get to have that. So I mean, it's becoming more and more free-to-play friendly. So if you're out there, absolutely focus on those mastery artifacts. Words are hard, and Rev struggles with words sometimes, but definitely focus on your mastery artifacts. But yeah, G3 players, always feel free to chime in. In fact, I encourage you, if you're a G3 player, not only should you chime in, you should definitely ask for help, and more importantly, get your alliance in here, because the more G3 players we have, the more we'll focus on G3 discussions when it comes to account reviews. Absolutely. Are you on any analgesics or antibiotics? Not anymore, no. I was for the first week post-surgery, but now we're in week 2 post-surgery, and I am not on anything. So, Valibon says those are close to what the pack numbers were back then. It's like buying a pack would have got you that way back in the day. It's kind of crazy, but hey, we do what we got to do, right? What is Scopely going to do to make G1 and G2 and G3 more competitive? Depends on what you mean by that, Dustin. What do you mean by the question? Because the main goal is to get people to progress out of G2 and G3 as fast as possible. So that's just the main goal, to get people in and out of it as quickly as they can. Now, there are still some big things that they're missing when it comes to speeding up G3 economy. Top 2 things to me would be the specialty ship sourcing and the officer badge sourcing would be the top 2 things that are still sluggish in G3, preventing people from moving up quickly. Those 2 things, and there are other things, but to me, those are probably the top 2 things, keeping people from moving very, very quickly. It is something that they're slowly working on. I do believe that we as a community should put more pressure to make them work on it faster. And why are you not mining? Or are you just bugged out and not showing me that you're mining? Okay, I think you were just bugged out. But we're going to move you anyway, because this game is untrustworthy. Why is everything in German? Sprechen Sie Deutsch. You don't speak German? How can you not speak German? It's the language of my fathers. Armada Control Center, and there's a complaint I hear from smaller ops. That one to me is not a complaint as long as alliances are teaching what they need to teach, as in they're telling players they need to go after this. My alliance knows that's a potential bottleneck, and we cover that, but it could be an issue. Barely speak English as an American. Look here, Viper. Don't make me go German on you. Glad to see you back. You sound great. Thank you, Laromi. Very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. Those numbers sound insane. And sitting at 70, I'm guessing G7 is going to have very high costs and build times. Climber, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what has happened the previous time things have come out. So if you're new to this, then I can go ahead and give you a warning. If you're not new to this, I'm going to be telling everybody else how it works. When Scopely releases a new G area in Star Trek Fleet Command, they have very lofty early adopter financial goals, as in they expect the people who want to move through G7 quickly to spend a certain amount. In G6, they had 3 events that launched the day G6 launched. Those events were 100 days long, and in that event, the goal was for you to reach level 70 within 100 days and unlock the the faction ships, the Enterprise Z, Scimitar, and the Crenshaw. To finish that event, and multiple people did. That event cost, and the math was done by Theep. Shout out to Theep, who actually no longer plays, but the math was done by Theep of how much it would cost to complete that in 100 days by buying packs, because that's obviously what you had to do. It was $100,000 US to complete that event, or complete one of the events. $100,000 US. Anytime they release a new G range, there is a very lofty financial set of goals that they have done. For example, the USS Vengeance is already getting cheaper than it was. There might even be efficiency things coming out for the Vengeance very soon. But its initial buy-in just a month ago was about $5,000 to $8,000 to win the leaderboard. We had multiple players spend over $20,000 US to max it out. So when Scopely releases this and does these things, this is how they do it. Very, very high financial goals. They do not expect the premium area of the game to be free to play for 1 to 2 years. So that's just something that you have to prepare for and decide, do you want to be a part of that? And that's completely up to you. We'll see if they do that this time around. Obviously, there is a lot. Y'all watch the video. There's a lot of negative in VIP right now when it comes to the structure of the game. I don't believe they have the buy-in support to do what they've always done. We'll see if that ends up remaining to be true. So, Quazel, good to see you, my friend, says, well, the price of early adoption seems there's a market for. That's the thing. I actually don't know if there is the market for that right now. I don't. And again, maybe this is just me having a echo chamber from the 70s and stuff that I work with, which is not a small number. But based on how things are going in VIP lately, based on the 70s that I work with every day, I don't think they have the buy-in to continue to push that same structure. They're going to have to adjust it somehow. Very curious to see what they're going to do. And for those, again, just keeping everybody updated on how things have worked in STFC, I believe we might have a slight change in terms of there's been some VIPs who've been been told G7 is getting pushed back, allowing more people to kind of like have a little bit of a breather before they throw all the numbers at them, but really hard to imagine them leaving it completely. Really hard to imagine them leaving that style, that structure completely. Very curious to see what they'll do. Just because Scopa does not want the top tier to free-to-play does not mean that free-to-play cannot get there. It does. No, it does, Dustin. You will not be able to free-to-play G7 when it comes out. That's not even a debate. You could not free-to-play G6 when it came out. There were literal designs of walls that you could not get past until I think it was 10 months into G6. Like, you were unable to actually get the materials without purchasing to progress. So while I agree this is a free-to-play game, when new levels roll out like G6 did, you can't free-to-play all the way to the top. It's not possible. You will have to sit and wait because they design certain intentional walls to make you spend to progress into the premium area in its initial 6 to 12 months. Now, again, maybe that's something they changed this time around. That's certainly possible. But you were unable to progress past early G6 as a free-to-play for the first few months to the early portion of a year, and that's just how that was intentionally designed. Now, we see it now is a lot easier because we have pure free-to-play who's reached 70. We have James Bond, who's 99.998% pure free-to-play, who's reached level 70, and I think that's fantastic, and I love that they're able to do that. But that is not something that is available day one, right? It's something that you have to then say, okay, how much time am I going to spend here to work on this process? And that's okay. I mean, whatever you enjoy. Why does the scrapyard have 2 queues, but you only scrap one at a time? They added that icon a couple months ago, but they've not released the mechanic to actually allow 2 scrappings to happen. So, yeah, they've not allowed that to happen yet. All right. Locate on ship freeze, intersystem freeze, start a new wave defense freeze. Wow, you got a lot of fun happening to you, Chris. Lots of freezing. That sounds terrible, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in. How about we start with a player account review from a G6 player. You throw out your level, we'll grab you. Remember, what you have to do is you have to contact me on Discord. I will choose. Do not just send me your name and your stuff. I will ignore it because I cannot just simply get, and I'm trying to not be mean, but there's 350 people here. So I simply cannot just grab everybody and have all y'all hit me with a DM. They'll just overload the DMs. So, John, you're level 70. I'm not going to do a level 70. There's no point in me doing a level 70, John, but I appreciate you being here. Viper, you shoot me a message on Discord. Let me know what questions that you have and what you want to do with your account, and then we'll try to give you a guesstimate of where you're at, or not a guesstimate. We'll look exactly where you're at compared to your peers, and we'll try to give an idea of where you should be focusing on. Spoiler alert, I've already given you some things to focus on, but still gonna focus on. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Demon, that's not even funny because I don't associate with that person, nor do I encourage anybody else to. All right, Viper, you shoot me a message, we'll roll. All right, gotcha. What I do on common ships and whether it's hold to push 6/6 and get the 6/6 rares. Okay. Well, I can tell you the first thing that you should do with the uncommon ships, you should, in my opinion, get at least one, preferably get 2 or 3, because you have hazard research tied directly to them. Let me go ahead and grab your overall ranking here. 63. Oh, you're not bad, man. You're not doing bad at all. All right, so let's put you on the screen. You're doing pretty well in terms of overall power. Do you have, Viper, do you have 1 or 2 uncommons? You have 1 or 2 uncommons? Well, John, if you want to know if you're low or mid-level 70, you can just go look that up. There's just no point giving advice to a level 70. You're already level 70. You're currently at the top. Lost Soul, I'm not going to do anything with that person. Please don't even mention them. Just don't even mention them. All right. Here we go. So here's where Viper is currently sitting at, ranked 248. So top 250 at 63 out of 3,383 people. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're talking about being in the upper echelon, I mean, that's the top, 7%? Top 7%? That's pretty daggum good. So that tells me you got your uncommon. I'm assuming your GS31 is tiered up. What tier is your GS31? We talked about this in a previous stream, but I really try to encourage people to get their GS31 up as high as they can, especially when you're reaching in a G6. The T5, too low. We definitely need to get that higher. Definitely need to get that higher because the GS31 is one of the best, if not arguably, I don't think it's number 1, but it is definitely one of the best in the game at that tier. So you got to work on upgrading it. So make sure you're not sleeping on it. Even mine's tier 7 heading to tier 8, right? So like if I've got this one here, you definitely can as well. You would like to have this pushing in around tier 12 at level 63. Reason being, as we covered in another stream, the GS31 is one of the most powerful ships in G6, and in terms of combat ability, second only to the Borg Cube. If we're talking about every ship in G6 at tier 15, and we're excluding the Vengeance from that level 70, but we're talking about every ship at tier 15, GS31 is the strongest round 1 fighter of all the G6 main ships at tier 15. So definitely work on that for you now. Start going after it. Just make sure you can do your pulls every day so that you can have value from it. It's very, very, very good. It's going to help you in PvE and PvP. Another thing is, as I was mentioning to other people earlier, mastery artifacts. I'm going to assume you're already in that process. Again, you're certainly not weak for your level, but I want you working on all these, particularly in Mbanga's Storybook and the Pike Sextant. Now, at level 60, I'm going after the ISO damage. So you don't necessarily have to follow Rev's path here. Rev's going after ISO damage because PvP and just trying to get better at it. But if we're talking about being a G6 player, the top 2 that you want to focus on all 4. But if we're talking about being able to efficiently afford to double pull and stuff from the refinery, we want to focus on Pike Sextant and then Mbanga's Storybook, because those 2 provide the speed ups and then the Sigma materials that you need for upgrades. Right? Speed ups and Sigma materials that you need for upgrades. And as a G6 player, that just has insane value, which we showed you on the spreadsheet, which we'll show you again here on the spreadsheet, thanks to my amazing Q-Snap. Remember, Pike Sextant, your G6. So let's just say, Viper, you've got yours at tier 5, which is what you said. That means every day you're getting 23,000 Sigma par, 4,000 Sigma trit, 2,400 Sigma dill, and then up here you're getting 11 hours and 15 minutes of speed ups. And I would say that if you are working on all four, maybe start focusing on double pulling these just because of what they give you now. Now, I'm not saying you don't need uncommon materials at 63 and rares and epics. You certainly do need those things. Or I'm sorry, just common, uncommon, and rare, not epics. But if we're talking about what you need the most of, you need this the most and this the most. So definitely work on pulling those. Another thing I really want you to do, if you're not already, Crenum Formation Armadas. Couple of reasons I really harp on the Crenum Formation Armada thing. One thing I want folks to remember when it comes to the new mastery artifacts is actually require you to have artifacts mastered, as in completed. So you will get stuck there if you don't have all these maxed. So we scroll up to the top. Remember, let's say you want to take Pike Sexton to max. You need number of artifacts that are level 20. You need 40 of them at level 20 to eventually max out the Pike Sexton. So don't forget that as well. So every G6, and I say this to G5 players too, but G6 as well, make sure you're running those Crenum Formation Armadas, because that allows you, especially if you're using the relativity, you can have your whole alliance do nothing but relativity runs and make it easy. But that allows you to make sure that you can not get stuck when you're trying to get all these things maxed out, because the worst one is actually the Vulcan Scroll and Mbenga's Storybook, which requires 75 level 12 artifacts. Can be tough if you've been ignoring mastery artifacts and formation armadas for a few months. Now, Viper, not saying you have. Again, you being anybody that's top 250, for their level, you're doing pretty well. But big things to focus on would be mastery artifact systems, doing those critical formations, which helps build that in. I personally like getting at least one, potentially 3 of the uncommons, just for the hazard research that you can access. I would show it on the screen, but obviously I can't see the hazard research on a level 60 account, but you know where that's at. Go after the hazard researches, and then I would push to 66. Again, if you do the mastery system here with these artifacts, it's gonna be a lot easier to push to 66. So you're gonna have that room for it. Let me go ahead and upgrade these, because, well, it's gonna bug me if I don't do it now. So give me a second to do all. I think I have like, 3 or 4 of them. A little bit of weapons boosting, always nice. Gonna come out here. What we got? One more thing. Oh yeah, we got this efficiency for all of our specialty buildings. Go ahead and get that upgrade, another 5%. That's gonna make my specialty buildings cheaper. That's always nice. Was that all of them? Yes. All right, cool. Other things to focus on. You should easily, at your level, Viper, be able to do the G5 Elite Solo Waves. You're not going to be doing the G6 Elite Waves with your GS31 being as low as it is, but I would encourage you to be running these as often as you can so that you have the currencies. That way you're going to be able to continue to max out that faction if you have not already. And then, not to be left out of this, and I'm glad Nemesis mentioned it, Fleet Commanders. Don't forget to work on your Fleet Commanders, including things like Lorca for artifact efficiency, but also even ones of swapping in 7 of 9. And if you have multiple spots here, that's fantastic, because 7 of 9 has things like this one right here, which is being more efficient to the cost of your CC building. That is really nice and comes in handy, obviously lowering the cost of actual upgrades. And you have a ship parts one right here. So, not that I don't appreciate the mastery artifact system, just there are a lot of ways to improve the efficiencies of ship parts, but there's not a ton of ways to get Sigma reliably. So anyway, those are the things that I would focus on for you. The researches that we've already discussed, the mastery artifact system, doing your solo waves, and not knowing if you have, I guess I should have asked this, Viper, have you got, ooh, I need to go there. Sorry. Squirrel, my bad. I got a squirrel moment. Ignore Rev. Uno momento, squirrel. We got to get in these armadas. We definitely want to participate in those. But anyway, Augment Exiles, you should definitely have hit 60 million rep by now. If you have not hit 60 million rep, please go do that to get Fleet Commander Khan free to play, Wrath of Khan Joaquim free to play, both very important, as well as opening up other things like the Quantum Slipstream Drive, which everybody here wants, whether you're a G4, G5, G6 player. I wish G3 players could get it. Sadly, y'all cannot, but everybody wants that. You definitely want to go get it. Start working on that as well if you haven't. So there is the level 63 player help. Viper, let me know if you have any other questions. But as far as what to do with your uncommon ships, you just upgrade them for the research pots. potentially the Borg Cube. It just depends on how far you want to take it. But you're not using the special ships really for anything because your main ships are going to be your level 60 ships. Those are just your best ships. If you need something a little bit extra warp range, you can upgrade your Akira Negvar / Minerva. They do look good. Just don't take them out in PvP or else everybody will make fun of you. Do not take them out in PvP. You will get made fun of by Rev and probably everybody else. You will get made fun of. So, let's finish Chrono Formation Crucible. Congrats, Tim. Congrats. Is it one G5 rare faction ship better than the other? Not really. No. I mean, maybe the Sanctus by like 1%. Really doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, because ship abilities are no longer really a thing. I mean, they do exist, but they don't have the level of impact like the Tribune did or the Pylum did. It's really a pick what you like thing. There's not a real need to be like Sompek, Crozier, Sanctus, whatever you like. The drawback to the Crozier, like every battleship, a little bit slow. The advantage of the Sanctus is if you did have to go which one has the best ship ability, it would be the Sanctus. But even then, I'm not exactly writing home about it and getting crazy. You know, it's pick which one you like and look forward to the 60s because it's gotten so much easier to get to the 60s and max those puppies out. It's just gotten so much easier. Sanctus looks cool. See, I never liked the look of the Sanctus. I think the Sanctus looks silly. If I had to pick which one looks best, it's the Sompek. The Sanctus looks bloated and for no reason has these absolutely obnoxiously large nacelles. Like, it doesn't... I would argue the Sanctus is the worst looking Romulan ship in the game. That's my opinion. It is the worst looking Romulan ship in the game. And I've said, don't take this as Rev hating on the Romulans. I've said very loudly that I think the Romulans as a faction have the best looking ships in the game. I think the Sanctus is the worst looking faction ship for the Romulans. There's a Tribune, Valdor, Sompek, Corvus, Sanctus. I think in terms of looks, this thing looks awful. It doesn't flow with the Romulan aesthetic. It's trying to be like an inverted warbird. I think it looks awful. It looks terrible. It doesn't look like the faction it's supposed to represent. At the same time, there's also hideous Klingon designs. I'm not just trying to pick on it. I do believe the Romulans have the best looking ships in the game as a faction. I just feel like that one's a big miss. Like the Koskari. I mean, not exactly a pretty looking Klingon ship. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on Romulans. I think the Sanctus looks terrible. And y'all can like the Sanctus look. That's completely fine. But if you're comparing it to like the Minerva, it's no contest. The Minerva is a beautiful, sleek, slim ship. It looks way better than a Sanctus. The D'Deridex, classic, iconic, looks way better than a Sanctus. The Valdor was actually in a Star Trek movie, so that's canon. How much can you argue with canon? And for anybody saying this thing, this is technically a Riemann ship, but again, how many people actually like watching that movie? This is technically Riemann, but anyway, there you go. I have a question: how to upgrade my Botany Bay? They took away my 30-day claim. If you lost the claim due to the independent archive, your Botany Bay should be maxed. But if it is in there in your archive, you're getting the upgrade currencies. I don't know what level you're at, Jim. For away missions, what officers to level traits on the Rainbow Latinum? Do the Rainbow ones, which is going to be Carol Marcus, Gorkon, Nero, Eurydice. Those are going to be the main ones for those various ones, or those various away team rainbows. I have an old video about the rainbows that is still active and still accurate. So at 29. So at 29, you're probably starting to need rare, which you need to actually level up to 30 and above to get that. So there's a level block on, on the Botany Bay, is it level 30? Trying to make sure I'm remembering that right. I know the Stella has the block at 30. It's the Botany Bay. Because I maxed my Botany Bay already on my level 34 account. But I think it took me getting level 30 to be able to do that. Pretty sure it's 30. You're getting it every 30 days? Yeah, but you were getting one. Like, that's not the same. You need to hit level 30 to get a real rare pull. All right, where are we going here? All right, go up here. What's this message? Join up. Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Thank you for the reminder. I completely forgot. So I skipped the 6th run common to get to the Cascari and got tier 9. My Q boosted. Is there enough hazard research to go back and build 1 or 2? I would, Caledon. That's what I would do. With more and more things coming into the game, there's certainly an argument to be made to not worry about it. But because hazards work on a flat percentage of how they reduce your hull, it doesn't really matter if you have a stronger ship. You need hazard research. So I would say yes, I would go after it. All right, got that one run. Nice. I just need another one to spawn and I can launch it. And I need to do a solo Armada. I need to do a slew of solos tonight. We'll probably do those tonight while we're streaming on Twitch. But yeah. Next Trek event, if you're there, will you be doing paid autographs? I do not see the point of me doing paid autographs. If for some weird reason you want Rev Deuce's autograph, I'll just give you an autograph. I don't see the reason in me charging. I'm not that important, guys and gals. I'm not that important. I'm not going to charge you for my autograph. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel that I'm blessed that y'all follow, and some of you donate. I definitely don't deserve, or I'm not famous enough to deserve autographs. That's silly. If for whatever reason you want a Rev Deuce autograph, you can have it. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, I'm not Anson Mount. All right. Let me jump back in here real quick so I don't forget, because I need to go do more mining for my Mak'ala's Crucible. And I've actually been doing more of the mining first because I hate it. Hey, Chatterfang, how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Bruno says the time you spend in G6, it is worth it. I agree. There are definitely some G6 players say, hey, you've already made it this far. Don't worry about it. You get more generic hazard resistance from places. I personally would like to have as much hazard resistance as possible, which is why I plan on building all 3 level 63 uncommons to get as much as I can. So, I'm not bored at all, David. Are you bored? I'm sorry, bud. Just with the 80s top all shiny. I just like my jacket. I like it. I have a picture of you posted next to my uncle when he was in his 30s or 40s. You're his exact doppelganger. That's okay. Thank you for letting me know. All right. Shiny good. Thank you, Samo. How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to you, Samo. You playing German? Yeah. Why not? What's wrong with German? How are you going to remember all the German you learned unless you actually immerse yourself in something that's German? Because I don't remember a lot of these words. I've got to relearn them. I have never watched BattleBots, Andrew, so I don't catch the reference. But maybe we got it from the same place. I don't know. I think it's a cool jacket. All right, let's see. We got another one. Yep, somebody launched it. I'll go join. I would like to be able to launch one so I can get the starter chest, but beggars can't be choosers. I also need to preload for, we have a territory here in 3 hours, Tefkari. I need to go and preload some ships because I know I'll forget. I always forget. So we're going to go preload some ships. Let's go sit them in there and let them sit, and they'll collect points when that rolls around. That way, if I do forget, I'll at least have something in there to get me some points. Hump day, always a good day. It's double rev. Also a gorgeous day in Canada. Lots of laundry to do and to hang outside. Oh, that's a lovely thing to do in 1849 Canada. It's a lovely thing to do. All right. Are you able to eat Taco Bell yet? I mean, I could, but I've not had Taco Bell in a long time. But if I wanted to have Taco Bell, yes, I theoretically could have Taco Bell. You were affected by the IA stuff. I'm in the process of starting a new alliance and trying to come up with recruitment pitches. I mean, I was part of the IA stuff. I don't know what it has to do with your recruitment pitches, but yes. Lionel, you're the second 718 to bring that to me today. Hope you're doing well. And yes, it is on my radar, and I've certainly heard that from a few of y'all. Not that there's a lot of people on 718 right now. I have heard it. For almost 7 years now, you've been my family. Love you and what you do for us. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Gary, thank you for supporting the channel. If anybody wants to support, never required, always appreciated. You can go to my website, revjuice.com, sign up to be a member monthly. That helps out the most and gets you access to our podcast, which we are doing another podcast episode here soon. Alex has been really sick. So I got sick, then he got sick. Or if you don't want the podcast and you don't want to do a monthly run and you just want to say, hey, Rev, I'll help with the medical bills one time, there's the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App in the chat. Never required, always appreciated, because I can't feed my family without amazing folks like you. And a big thank you to all those who do it. It means a lot. Well, that's a bummer. We got a double launch over here. That's a bummer for them. Love the jacket. Yeah, thank you. Actually got this from China. Got it from China. Go to Taco Bell tonight. Order what you and the family want this evening. Let me know how much I owe you. I'll talk to the wife. We'll see. You know, you got to get food approval from the wife. Getting her to approve Taco Bell might not be easy. Might not be easy, but I appreciate it, Belly. How'd you choose which alliance you wanted to join? That's easy. About which ones are the strongest. That doesn't help you, though. What made you pick one group of friends over the other? Strongest. Because strong equals more rewards. So that doesn't really help you, chatter. Again, in fact, a lot of my advice to players is counter to new alliances starting up. Not that I'm trying to be mean to new alliances, but if you're a player who doesn't want to spend a lot of money, like me, or any money, like other people, the bigger / better alliance you can be in terms of activity and scoring, that's what I choose. Because we've mathed it out. If we're launching and winning all these alliance leaderboards in like the number 1, number 2 alliance, you're getting $300 to $400 worth of packs a month in rewards. You know, that's obviously alliance tournaments is going to put you in the Masters League. Like, just the value is immense. So that's why I tend to be in top alliances. Even the alliance that I started on server 710, we're still the 4th strongest alliance in the game, even though most of us are free to play. So it's tough. Now, for my alliance that's ranked 4, a big thing is building a community and having it actually be like a family where you care about the people and you're friends with each other and you actually care what's going on. You ask about family and friends and all that other stuff. And you do stuff together. You do armadas together, right? Oh, dag nabbit, they're fast. But it's just building that type of cohesive unit that cares about each other more than just the game itself. It's about caring and having friends outside the game. And that's a big part of what makes alliances successful, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's what makes a lot of it successful. I'm just starting to do the Revenant loop. How do the higher-ups get so many of the Armada startups? It's just collecting over time. Yeah. And you also get chunks of the Armada startups, Nick, in terms of like how many you have at one time and how much you can hold. So that's also a part of it. I need to actually do these refines, but go to our Continuum refinery. So I need to go do them clearly. But you can hold 1,500 of the Type 3s and 400 of the polygons, right? I mean, so that's quite a bit to have at one time and do. It just depends on if you're on to do them all. Are the G5 faction miners worth getting or just keep using Novas? Personally, I would just keep using Novas. That doesn't mean that it's a wrong reason or a bad reason to get the G5 miners. If you can afford it, like you have the faction credits, like for me, this account could absolutely afford to get those. Wouldn't hurt me at all to go ahead and pick up those because I've already maxed out my epics. All the stuff that I'm earning right now is only going to a few researches, and I've got faction credits. So I could get a miner right now, not hurt myself. That actually helped me have something to spend on for leaderboards, and it would be better mining than my Nova. The only reason I don't is because, well, y'all know how Rev feels about mining. It's not really a thing for me. I don't need the increased warp range. The only reason I would need the warp range is for G6, and I'm going to have multiple Selkies for that. So, and yes, Lamar, Chimeras are invading entities. That reminds me, I need to do Chimeras. I've not done my Chimeras, but Chimeras are invading entities. Chimeras, Crenum, solo armadas, and our most recent versions are solos. So, thank you for the reminder. I need to come in here and do this stuff, but do this pull, and then I need to actually go run some of these. So there's my directives. Thank you for the reminder. I'll do that probably after stream. So we get this filled up. We did. Speed up. Let's go. Crew. Same crew that I put out my video about IEs, I mean, I just put out an updated video when we did the flashpoints. If you want to go check that one out, Lamar. But IE crews are still the same thing they've always been. Dejas, Torah, Tolig, Gwendemarco, Nesmith, etc. There are a couple of other things that have changed, but go check out the flashpoints video. You can actually hold 2,100 solos, drop to 1,400, and collect again. You can. Yes, you can indeed. Did that work or did it bug out? Okay, I think it worked. I hope it worked. And it just bugged out. Yep. Okay, it worked. Good. Gosh, game's trying to scare me. All right. For those curious, killing hostiles to try to force spawn the armadas and help them spawn in quicker. Somebody asked for a... Okay. Somebody saying something and don't even know why. Why 9% or more of the special ships take 50 or more slots in the hangar? They don't. Special ships don't take 50 slots. They take 1 slot in the hangar, Dustin. They take 1 slot. Where's our respawn? For polygons, if they have more than 4 stars, they probably have the Prime Start Bundle. Gives 1 every 2 days. Oh, they launched an uncommon. Oop, wrong thing. Don't want to hit that hostile. And they launched it. Can you get rid of ships that you can't scrap? You cannot, Gates. No. So if you are hitting the limit of your hangar, wrong button. Let me hit this one. So you can see at level 60, I've got 111 hangar spots. Then you just need to scrap what you do have that's scrappable, whether that be Envoys, Horizons, old miners that you don't use anymore. Scrap those to make room if you're hitting against that wall, which I know some of our G6 players do because they've been making so many G5 ships for leaderboards, they're now kind of full up. So, how many different specialized ships do most accounts need? Short answer is all of them. The only specialty ships that have no actual value in the game are like the Sarcophagus, the Franklin A really don't anymore, but they do have the mastery system, which people will do them just to get them mastered. But just generally speaking, all the specialty ships have value and you want to work through all of them, which is why I was saying earlier they need to speed up the acquisition of specialty ships in G3 as well as the officer badges to make that experience better for those players and make it easier for them to actually progress. So, you hate wars. I was in the biggest alliance for 5 years. Last year and a half, I've been doing solo stuff and I enjoy it a lot. And see, Denro, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big encourager of finding what you enjoy in the game and doing that. And if that means that you don't want to deal with the hassle of dealing with people, well, I've said it very loudly before. I think people are the worst part of the planet. So if you don't want to deal with people, I can understand that, and that's completely fine. Sieg! Victory. Yay, we won an event. Surprise Mantis isn't on archive yet. It's on the list. Basically, all the the Disco, the Stella, the Mantis, all those are on the IA archive list. So it's just a question of when or what month do they do that. Got it before I could. I'm gonna go ahead and cloak so I can get those extra goodies and rewards. You don't want to deal with people, but I love dealing with Rev. Thank you, Ultra. You're very kind. Even though only today did I learn that you're actually a Korean national. Yep, I learned today. The things you learn about your friends that you never knew. I do have my in-game language set to German, Benji. How did you recognize it? How'd you know? How'd you know? I'm just going to do a single pull. See what we get. Okay. Not bad. Definitely appreciate getting this. Artifacts always good. Need to the commons as well. And I obviously need to run epic armadas. I'll probably do that a little bit later. I actually need to wait to do tomorrow. Don't forget, if you are doing your Mak'ala's Crucible, tomorrow is the Vindicator event. Best day to do the armadas. Tomorrow's the Vindicator event. Wonder who inspired you to put STFC and not English? It wasn't anybody from APAC, for sure. Because nobody cares about APAC. Scopely doesn't, why should I? APAC had no influence on what Rev does in game. Yeah, no influence at all. My lady will be in South Korea for a few weeks in October. Be careful, she might get addicted to K-pop. It's all the rage right now. Very careful. All right. See if we got another start we can do. I think I have one more launch, but this is also why I tell everybody to make sure you're doing your solo armadas, because that means that you will then have the directives to run these. And it's very helpful. You're already addicted to K-pop? Oh no, it's too late. Dynamite, I'm so sorry. I can't save you. You're too far gone. It's like a zombie. We just got to put you out of your misery. Just got to put you out. Pretty sure one of the videos said for every new loop we should get an archive loop. They've never said that. To be very clear, they have never said that. I don't know who's passed that rumor. Scopely never said we're not going to give you a new loop until we archive another one. They never said that. Now, have they said that they've been very transparent on what ships are going into the archive in terms of like what's planned. They have not told y'all what months it's going to happen, but they've been very clear about what they're going to put into the archive. Look, I don't like to defend Scopely very often, but just this year, you've had 10 ships added to the archive. Now, that's not technically 10 loops because 3 of these are, kind of together, but they've been very open about the system, what they're planning on doing. They just don't give dates of, okay, specifically November, you're getting this ship. But they never said, hey, we're going to archive a ship every time we do a loop. They never said that. So. By the way, Luke, good to see you. Do you recommend having the Vindicator at a certain level in the G6, or is it not a priority? I think it's good to have the Vindicator tier 5-ish. I mean, remember, the higher you level it, the more efficient you're going to be getting those parts. Specifically, when I say parts, I'm focusing in on the Fleet Commander stuff. I think that's super valuable. Also, real quick, love and thank you to Steven. Not going to dox your last name, but thank you for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate you donating to me and my family. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. All right, you got waiting on another one here to spawn so we can launch one. Monday, my North Star got whacked out by another player who was like 44 or 45 and was only 24. Is that any fair match? Were you in territory? Because I think a 44 can't punch down that far unless it's in territory. But don't worry, the brackets only get wider. Like a level 70 can hit me, and for the most part, there's nothing I can do about it. That's just how this game is. You got to embrace the PvP-ness. You got to embrace it. Thank you, Bally Bomb. I appreciate it. Just let the wife choose what sounds great. I really do appreciate it, and I will let her know. Thank you. Vindicator becomes a PvP tank. See, I wouldn't argue that, because even though that's technically a true statement, I don't want to take away from what the 2 true tanks in PvP are in G6, which is the Boar Cube and the GS31. And with that, you don't need any of the others, though it's always nice to have. Dag nabbit, they're fast. So much faster than me getting these things launched. It's annoying. It's very annoying how fast they are getting these things launched. You were in Klingon space mining concentrated latinum. Were you OPC? Probably. Probably if you were doing a North Star, you were OPC. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go to pvptarget.com, you can see all the level ranges. Here, we'll do that real quick. Help out our G players, our G3 players. You said you're level 29. The max that can hit you is a level 45. So at level 60, I can hit down to 39 up to 91, which doesn't really exist, which means a 91 could hit me, which means that everything that happens in G7 is absolutely going to hit me, right? If you are level 50, whatever happens in G7 is probably going to hit you, and you can punch down to a 33. So those are the ranges. You can check that out at pvptarget.com if you're curious, if you've never seen it before, and you want to see what can hit what. Very useful tool. Shout out to my friend Inworlder for putting that together. So, did you know that the name Little Caesar was a Marine's little wee-wee joke? I did not, Dark Ginger, but thank you. Would there be a reason to save up recruit tokens after a certain point? No. Spend them because you need to get all those officers. In fact, the standard, you should be spamming the standard recruit until you max out Chin. So until she's maxed out, you should be spamming this, arguably even using Latinum. Those that don't know, you can use Latinum. It's 4,000 Latinum for 100 standard tokens. You should even be using Latinum to try to get more Chin shards. Max her out. because then you can run Pipe and Road Chin or Picard Beverly Chin, which is still the primary hostile crew for G3 and most of G4. So we were making ships to go for. At 41, I would go to 42, pick up, like a Valdor, Katinga, Kelvin. I would also be working on your Relativity, especially because the Relativity is arguably the strongest special ship in G4. In SCA is very strong. Getting your Revenant. Once you hit G4, there are a lot of special ships that pop up. A lot of special ships become available. So it's a lot of new loops. But Relativity in terms of overall strength is way up there. You don't want to forget about the Voyager. Hopefully you've got the Voyager tier 3 already. You had that done at level 39. I've got that done at level 34. So, yeah. Lube says use Officer Depot for Chin. So, Lube, normally I would agree with that, and technically kind of do, but if you're a G3 player spending Officer Depot tokens, I actually tell people to get Nurse Chapel. Best below deck officer you can get in G3 right now because she's available in the choice tokens. Though there's nothing wrong with maxing out Chin either. But if you're farming Latinum in the away teams, which is what I try to harp on my G3s doing, you can use that to farm Chin and then use your depot tokens to farm Nurse Chapel. And Lube, if you can imagine how insane it is to have ISO Cascade at like level 32 against all those loops. You basically become unstoppable. It's super OP if you can get her tiered up in, the mid 30s, low 30s. So, though Chin's obviously not a wrong answer, having Nurse Chapel available is insane. I've got her, I think, at tier 2 or tier 3. So, tier 2 or tier 3. And again, just that ISO Cascade has almost just as much impact as having a max Chin wheel, just because that game was not designed for ISO. It has no counter. So it has no counter. What's her full name? There's many Nurse Chapel versions. There's not many. There's 2 Nurse Chapels. There's not more than 2 chapels right now, are there? Here, I'll show you which one I'm talking about. There's only 2 chapels, right? Yeah, there's only 2. Anyway, you got Black Ops Chapel, Strange New World Chapel. This one we're talking about. This one we're talking about. This ability right here. For those who can't read German, that's ISO Cascade, maxed out 40%. ISO Cascade. So, I guess that could be tough for y'all to read. Maybe I should switch this back during streams. But this one right here. Now, Savick is also an option, Domo, if you've unlocked Savick. Which, down right here. You just got to, be able to get her and tier her up. See, tier 1, 15%, maxes out at 70%, which is good. It's definitely good. You need her tier 4, if I remember right, to surpass Chapel. Let me double check that. Hey, Bartman, how you doing? Come on, STFC.space, load. I know you're run by Scopely, but come on. All right, Savick. Yeah, tier 4, she's 50%. So at tier 4, Savick will surpass Nurse Chapel. Though you could run those together, FYI. If you didn't know, you could run both Nurse Chapel and Savick. They do stack. So, but it's tough to get Savick done before your upper G4. Kind of like what Sugar Fat Man's saying. You really need to be dominating that augment loop. And getting kind of a little bit, I wouldn't call it late in the game, but later in the game. Gosh, I really want to run both of these. I've only got one ship here. Heck it. I'm going to jump in there. 70s Pioneer Crest upgrades. It might be difficult for some. Absolutely. Unless you've unlocked the Reliant as well as a low-level player, which I think we are, 2 weeks away from free-to-play Reliant right now? Are we 2 weeks away from free-to-play Reliant? I'm trying to think where everybody's at. I'm a little bit behind because I got sick. So my Reliant unlock is not as good. 10 days? Yeah, see, I'm only at 138 of 200. So we have a lot of free-to-play who are about to get the Reliant, and that's going to help them start getting the trophies. Hopefully y'all have been working on the actual progress in terms of your rep already. But That's going to allow you to start running the champions, and that's going to help you start getting a lot of stuff worked on really quickly, and that's going to be good. I need to do more of, on this account, I need to do more of this, I think. No, not that one. Although I do want to get more of those tokens so I can turn in straight for maxing out Gwen DeMarco. I've got her at 117 to 240 on this account. All right, where are we in over here? I'm going to jump in that one. And even though it's a PvP ship, I'm going to bring it up here just because I need it. I need a ship. You got FC Con first? Well, you should get FC Con before you get Joaquin and stuff, but yeah. Right in time for the next arc and spin events just means that you get something to focus on, right? When new arcs roll out, I typically don't focus on them too much, and I just do what I can and ignore the rest and know that later down the line, I'll be able to do more, and that works for me. That works for me. Less than 10 days to get your Reliant. Congrats. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit longer because of, you know, my body trying to die. But I'm hopeful that, to get back on the wagon. And hopefully the next special ship, I'll be able to free to play quicker. You're 195 of 864 to Max DeMarco. Hey, it's a slow pace, but that's also why I want flashpoints to come back. Like, I really do hope they don't forget about flashpoints so that I can continue working on Gwen DeMarco, my premium mirror dust. I don't need them forgetting about it. After maxing Nurse Chaplain Torres, which officer to max next? Harry Kim. Harry Kim. Just because, I mean, again, you're going to have the Star Path research later, but being able to get that morale and then also be able to get the ISO from that, the Star Path, and then eventually the shield regen. Harry Kim. And I'm just up front going to focus more on rares and stuff. So than I am epics. See, look, they just launched another one. So I'm going to go there, and then we're going to halt and move it here. You'd rather have more Saris Invasions? See, I wouldn't, because flashpoints are far more lucrative than Saris Invasions. Like, I'm not saying I don't do Saris Invasions. I do. But in terms of what actually has better payouts, it's flashpoints by a lot. I definitely agree that flashpoints as a system was not really well designed. But in terms of what is going to progress your game faster, it's flashpoints, and it's not even close. Flashpoints moves you significantly faster than Saris Invasions, which makes sense because Saris Invasions is a year-old content versus brand new content. Right? Flashpoints needs to just stop trying to be something it's not. It needs to go back to being just once a month, take over for Galactic Invasions, and just run. You have to be able to do the Vanguards. This is true, but this is also why I tell people to play slow and work their way up and work on officer sourcing. So, got 3 of them in here now, all at the top. Can't do Vanguards yet myself. Fair. You hope next Flashpoint's available below Ops 40. Thomas, you wouldn't be able to do it even if it was. Not that I'm trying to be mean to you, but those Flashpoints are no joke for early G4 players. They're strong. They're strong. With the guaranteed Armada directive drops, the Flashpoint invasion loot was vastly superior. Yeah, I mean, Flashpoint loot is just very, very good. And I'm not saying that we should just completely dump all things like Saris. I just think that they need to be absorbed together and maybe even run together. But the payouts for Saris are just much, much lower. I mean, you can even look here. You don't have to read German to know that this is less and not as good as what you were getting from Flashpoints for your, big turn-in, right? Which was going to potentially give you shards of DeMarco, Dejac, but not to mention premium mirror dust, which is hands down one of the most valuable things in the game today. Premium mirror dust is absolutely just a must-have for everybody here. So, the turn-in for one DeMarco just makes you sad. The turn-in for one DeMarco reminds me of when the Amalgam first came out, and we griped about the Amalgam having that one Honor Guard Wharf shard, and that's all we ever felt like we got. That's exactly the vibe I get and what it makes me feel like with Saris Invasion, because I only ever get one Gwen DeMarco shard. So why not run Saris and Flashpoints at the same time? There's a logic to that, but the truth is Flashpoints should replace Saris if we're, keep in mind that we're always talking about wanting to have a better gaming experience. Like we're always talking about, gotta get this launched. We're always talking about, dag nabbit, wanting to have less loops and things like that. Well, by that logic, because Flashpoints are basically nothing more than a copy and paste of Saris Invasions in terms of like the actual mechanic itself, I think they should simply be combined. So, where are the Saris not Madas? So when those are active, remember it starts on day 2. They're going to be up here, and this whole area will be lit up. They're not currently active right now. Yeah, they're not currently active, but it'll be this area right here where you can find the Madas. Or can you find the Madas and they just didn't turn on the graphic? Did they just not turn on the graphic? Because this is day 2, isn't it? This is day 3. Yeah, they just didn't turn the graphic on. All right, so there's a visual glitch, but they're all up here. They're all up here. It's all Scopely again. Freaking Scopely, man. Freaking Scopely, bruh. Bruh. Like, bruh. Like, oh my, bruh. This is Scopely, bruh. Oh my gosh, bruh. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, they're up here. Today's the last day to get it done because this is day 3. Monday was day 1. So get up here and do it. If you're not doing it already, get up there and do it. That one's already running. That one's already running. Dag nabbit. All right. And jump down in that. Get my cloaking dailies done. Had a hard time finding them because I was looking for the stupid ship graphic. Yep. I just always remember that it's above Federation space and below Dairy Queen space. So when you're doing your navigations, just find Fed space, go above it, but you're not in Dairy Queen space yet. That's how I always identified. Above Fed space, but before Dairy Queen space. This is all Dairy Queen space. Pretty much never do them because I never get enough directors from the Fratu Cray claims. And I'm not paying for starts. Completely fair. Completely fair. I do like the Wrath of Khan months that had good loot for everyone, even low levels. Yeah. Certainly can pass along positive feedback. It's good to find some positive feedback. All right, nothing there. Let's see if we got anything in here yet. I wish these lint liquors would speed these jokers up, so I'll stop having to stare at them. All right, we got another launch. No. All right, come on, come on. Spawn, please. Sometimes exiting and re-entering the galaxy system can help with the 4 spawns or killing a hostile. Need one to spawn. I like the Wrathcon events because they put them at the start of the week and let you choose what you had time to play and complete them. Well, that's why I like Boldly Go. Because you get you know exactly what you've got to do over the course of 7 days, and you decide how much of that you want to do. That's why I like Boldly Go so much. You get to choose what you actually want to do. And I love that system. Pick and choose what you want to do. Mirror mining is a chore. It is, which is why it's actually the first thing I've been working on, because I hate mining in Mirror Universe. I don't like the Mirror Universe at all. So I'm just trying to get that one over with because it is easy. It's just, going through the systems and playing hopscotch jump rope. It's very annoying. All right, got anything other there? No. Time, dude. War Thunder dailies. You have a great time. For those who want to play War Thunder with us, by the way, we do have a squadron available that anybody can join, and we will be streaming War Thunder tonight, roughly 4 hours from now. If y'all want to come jump in, we do War Thunder before we do Star Trek Fleet Command. So obviously, y'all are welcome to any of my content, but if you want to come hang out with us in War Thunder over on Twitch, we'll be doing that in roughly 4 hours, and you can of course talk Star Trek while you're there. So. Luna says, why is your account in German? Why not? How else would you practice your German without immersing yourself with the Hermans? And it is the language of my fathers. So there's an incentive to do it too. War Thunder has dailies. It does. It does have daily events. All right, let's see. Anything spawn in here? Nope. Let's go ahead and get this cooking. Now, how many people have been taking advantage of this right here? I've been OPC hunting some fools, man. I've been finding so much OPC thanks to the Mak'ala's Crucible in Mirror Universe. So much OPC. Love how it says I wasn't in the rift when I was literally here the entire time. Mighty Mirror is fast if you don't use the Omega Space systems like Mirror Car. Yeah, faster, yeah. I'm just so lazy to go anywhere else. Sugar, I'll let you tell me where you want me to go, because that's Mirror Car. You tell me where you want to go. Where you want me to go, Sugar? You want me to go all the way to Vendor? But I got to do all the movement. See, this is just right here. You want me to go all... Vendor's over right here. You want me to go all the way over there? That's just so much work. All right. Just for Sugar Fat Man. I'll go all... Actually, I don't know if I have the warp range for Vendor, but we'll see. I actually don't know if I have the warp range. We'll launch that one. And then come join this one. I feel bad for BCA over there, but oh well. Sucks to be them. All right. So we'll go to Romy. That way we're going to jump over here. Then we'll go Altania, Unroth, Dedaradex, Vendor. See if they speed up this Armada. Yep, we're going to speed that up. Yeah, my thing with Vendor, L, is just I got to go so far out there. Like many of you, I hate the constant jumping in Mirror Universe. I'm assuming many of you are the same. I hate the constant jumping in the Mirror Universe. It's annoying. The constant jumping through the gates is what I don't like. So, all right, we're going to finish this up. Pew, pew. Then go up here. What loops do you need to do at 33? At 33, Stella, hopefully you finish your Vidar loop already. You should be done with that. Should be work on your amalgam and faction grinding. Probably the main things to focus on at that level. Mantis loop technically has just started. We can debate how important the Mantis loop is, but that'd be my top 3. Wait for us to get 7 here. We got spot for 1, so I'll let a 7th come jump in. Warm Water, I agree, you should be able to do that, but you can't, and there's no plans to make that happen. They don't have the tech to make that happen. Shorter version is, or longer version, they're not willing as a company to invest the man hours needed to create that style of system. So. Sadly, we're just kind of SOL on that, and we got to do all the jumping. All right, my squall finally went kapoop. And so we got 7 here. Nope, just 6. There's another one sitting, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Jump in here. All right. Vendor is 2.7 for you, and you said Beta Paldoris is over 7 million. I mean, we can look at both of them if you want to. I don't mind showing you both. We'll go to Vendor first, and then we can just take a left and go to the other one. We'll show you what they both show mining rate. So this one shows me 2.3 million. And this is obviously in Mirror Dedaradex. We're going to go up 1. Check there. But the 48s both should be identical. They're both 48 systems, both 48 mining systems. They should be identical. And I say should with all hesitation because STFC. But they should be identical. All right, they're running that. Dag nabbit. Welcome in, Irrespective. How you doing? So we'll do vendor, and then I will use my uncommon tokens to show you both sides. Because that's what good content creators do. All right, so we're at 6.2. We'll go to Beta Paldoris, which should be the same. And we'll see if it's also at 6.2. All these should be the same. 6.2, we'll go take a look. And I'm not in a rift again. Good old Scopely. Good old Scopely. 6.2, identical, as they should be. They should be identical, and they are. Yeah. Any of the 48 systems should have the exact same rates. Oh, come on. You laggy little lagger. Got a full note anywhere? Yeah, we'll jump on that one. But there's all that travel time I really hate. All right, we got one launched over here. We'll go jump in. Collect our goodies. And I still need to do enough to do this collection. All right. Would you mind checking my account? Jurassic Mike, if you have questions, you can shoot it to me. We're actually really close to wrap-up time, but if you want to shoot me a couple of questions on Discord, you're more than welcome, Mike. Those mining rates aren't freedom units because of the language change? Correct. So thousands show up as TD in German. Millions are MIO, M-I-O. Language will change all kinds of things. And another launch there. Let's see if I got one uncommon yet. Nope. No uncommon yet. Waiting on an uncommon. By the way, you can ignore the dailies being broken on 718. They fixed it finally. They just fixed it? Like live during stream as we were complaining about it? Well, that's dope. Well, Scopely won't allow a player to system travel mirror because, again, John, it's not possible. They do not have the tech to make that happen. That's why. It's just they don't have the ability to make that happen. Always have felt like I was weak no matter what level I was on. You're up on research, still feel weak? Well, then that means you're not up on research, Doc. Now, keep in mind that one very real problem in this game is there's so much stuff, it feels impossible to try to keep up with everything. But there's a lot of stuff that most people tend to forget about because they forget about the factions having favor systems. That's a research tree. They forget about artifacts. They forget about Emerald Chain. They forget about Syndicate. Like all these things drastically change your play level and your ship powers at your account. So there's a lot that goes in. As I've said before, I encourage people simply because there's so much research, you need to be speeding up researches every single day. You need to be speeding up researches every single day. You don't need to wait for researches to complete. You need to be speeding through them as quickly as you can. Because there's just too many. And that's not the fault of the player. That's the fault of Scopely's design. But end of the day, I mean, you got to get what you can get. Like right now, I'm getting OPC. Because Rev is a dirty, dirty pirate. And he doesn't care whose stuff he steals. As long as there's something to be stolen, Rev will find a way to steal it. That's just how it's just meant to be. That's just how life is. And you need to suck it up if you don't agree. I got to sneeze. Apologies. Let's see if we can find any more OPC down here. And these are all just ships that were doing mining and, you know, get kicked out because of the timer and they have not got brought home yet. And I'll gladly take their loot home for them. Ooh, 2.4 million. Let's go. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, we can definitely take that. And look, that's giving me less work I have to do in the future. That's less work Rev has to do in the future. Because now I'm not going to have to go mine that stuff. I wish it worked for the Mak'ala's Crucible that you could OPC hunt it. But yeah. Shall I focus on research over tearing up my epic ships? I mean, depends on what research you're referring to. Oh, the one with the millions got away. Darn. Let's go check the next system. I guess I appreciate that he was paying attention. Oh, there's one right there. If I had the multi-Armada start, I'd cook this one. Bring back old morning mining Monday pirating goals. Yeah, I think pirating should be more incentivized in the game, especially because they very openly want the game to have more pirating in it. But we'll see. Do the math. Mining the 47 system works out to less clicks in the long run because you have to go back into mirror space less. I guess that's a good math incentive. Can certainly see the logic there. Oh, you know what? I will steal your 6-star stuff because why not? I will oh, 1 million? Yes. I will take your goodies. Not carrying what? Oh, that's a bit. Never mind. Never mind. Not on this ship. That is a small Enterprise D, but I'm in a very small ship, so we're not going to do that. We're going to move over to this 1.56 mil OPC. But I do like those ship parts. I might send a certain to Daradex to go say hi. We'll send it to Daradex. He can handle it. Anything in here? No, no. Anything in that one? Ooh, yes. Okay, now that needs the Daradex because I really need this currency. Absolutely. The Daradex, get up there first. Take him out. Stella's a little hot rod ship. Even Stella has hard limits to what it can do. See, back in the day, people used the Stella as one of the primary ships in the early 30s because it got so strong. And we definitely need that currency right there so we get all of our mirror finds done. That's less actual hostile grinding I have to do with the mirror ship, with the NSEA. All right, come down here. We'll take out this Enterprise D. And that'd be a nice little loot day for Rev. Nice little loot day. They want more pirating. They should change more tasks to dock things versus mine things. I agree. 100%. It's wild because game design wants more pirating, and Live Ops really just cares about, you know, how can we get people to spend money? And contrary to popular belief, that means that they run a lot of events based on, you know, collecting resources or buying resources. So not always PvP arrived. The reason you don't attack them from range? Yeah, so Gates, if you've never noticed, if you hit an attack and you're traveling across, is there anybody on server 20 right now so I can show this? But if you get targeted and they're coming towards you, you will flash red. Like you'll see an incoming targeting icon on your ship. I don't know if we have any server 20s on. I don't know if like Hellcats or any of our server 20 folks are on from Epic or DMFL, but you'll get an alert just like if your base is under attack. You'll get that big flashing red. You'll get the same thing or a similar thing rather with a ship where it'll flash. So you want to get a lot closer. Yeah, exactly like K1's saying. It looks the same way that a hostile chaser does. All right, speed. So I'll always try to get within 2 or 3 seconds because it takes 5 seconds for the warp animation to work. So if you can get right up on top of them, you're guaranteed to go home with the goodies. Most of the active players in my alliance have completed it or close to completing Crucible. That's fantastic. That's great. I love how my alliance is currently screaming at me in German. Tell me to speed up the armadas. Schnell is quickly, speed, etc. In day 3 Bold to Go events, what does it mean use FC active ability? Yeah, Fleet Commander. So that's using like Khan's ability, which I can go ahead and activate now, or using Lorca's active ability. So you have 2 fleet commanders that have an active ability. And that, on day 3, there you go. I used 2 of them Monday during PvP arenas. There we go, finish that out. Is there another one to launch in here? Hopefully soon. There you go. Okay, now I can do my pull. Oh, did you see that attack marker? JV just came by. See how I've got that pop up on the top of the screen and the red flashed? Yeah, shout out to JV for coming through. With an Akira, JV, I'm gonna have to punish you for using an Akira. How dare you? How dare you attack me with the G3 uncommon? People are gonna think that's okay. People are gonna think that's an okay thing to do. You don't do that. I had to teach you a lesson. I still appreciate you helped out the channel. You're an amazing person. But you had to be taught a lesson. We do not PvP with G6 uncommons. You had to be taught a lesson. You brought this on yourself. You can't blame Rev. This is your fault. You cannot blame Rev. We do not PvP with G6 uncommons. Shame, shame. We don't do it. Bad. Thank you, though, for helping out the channel. And hopefully you saw that, Gates, where it flashes on the screen. You'll see it on the ship. You'll see the attack marker. And that would have given me time to get away. That would have given me time to get away. So. Oh. Jew's coming with a cube. There we go. What's up, buddy? Hey, Jew. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Tell, I'm going to send, I don't know if Jones is in the, chat or not, but see how my base is just lighting up? How my base is just lighting up right now? Those are the markers that you get when a PvP tack is incoming. Also, that's a big cube, scary cube. You can PvP with cube, that's fine. Bellocs or cube. Out of those 2, the cube, Scott, I've beat both of those though. Those are both very close, but both work. Both work. Oh, all right. All right, happy to help, Gates. All right, we're going to wrap up for the day. Don't forget, if you have more questions, you can reach out to me on Discord at any time. We'll also be live streaming over on Twitch in 3.5 hours. I think Jew's going to come hit my base. He gets a kick out of it. He's a big old boy. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for loving the channel. If you need anything, hit me up. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for their space, Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Command. Shout out DMFL for helping out with today's video. It's greatly appreciated. Deuces, we're out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.